Hey, so like for the first 3.5 minutes of this episode, my microphone wasn't recording in OBS. So basically, we're going to be talking about Baldur's Gate 3. And for the first 3.5 minutes or so, we're talking about why Dee doesn't like Lae'zel. And I offered out that my theory was that, like, one, she's a fucking alien. And also, like, she has this deep-seated root of, like, maybe she's not strong enough. Maybe she doesn't feel that she's strong enough to be considered a true Gith warrior. So, that's all you're missing from my end. It gets fixed around the 3.5 minute mark in the episode, so just thought I should let y'all know.
Everyone's going to talk about
Baldur's Gate, baby! My
game I only know
awesome
like the first 2 minutes of.
It's great. It's a good game. I've played a lot of it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I only have a laptop for computer gaming, and it is nowhere near powerful enough, so I gotta wait for consoles. So I got, 2 more weeks?
Something like that, yeah.
Can't remember if it's the 2nd or the 5th. It's one of the two.
They've definitely been working on it, for sure. They added... Yeah.
And I believe they also said everything going forward will be across everything, too.
Yeah,
I would hope so, yeah. There's some really...
hope so. It sounds like they didn't do much to fucking... I would hope so. It sounds like they didn't do fucking too much to optimize the damn game, from what I've heard.
I don't know, it's pretty optimized. I haven't had any trouble with it, really.
Why?
My personal favorite was... there's like some weird bugs here and there, like I was watching someone play it, and the person who... There's a scene at the beginning where you like get hit in the head with a rock and you like go flying off the ship, but the corpse, like your body didn't ragdoll properly for the cutscene, so you're just posing off the ship. It's great. It's really dumb looking. Look, can we talk about how much I cannot stand Lae'zel? Like, come on, man. She's
Is
so unlikable.
she the one with the fucked up nose?
Yeah, that's a Githyanki.
Don't fucking no.
It is.
You know how I know nothing about anything. You can't just fucking sit there and be like, "Oh yeah, she's the Githyanki," as if I should fucking know what the fuck that is. Okay,
Wait,
you know I don't know anything about anything.
I thought isn't Shadowheart the Githyanki too?
No, Shadowheart's a person, or she looks like a normal person. I've seen
people posting wrong screenshots. Then
She feels like a really bad tourist. Like, you're in another country, behave. Don't talk down about the people that live there. Like, even if you think that even if you believe that they are beneath you, you don't have to act that way.
She is
Knock it the fuck off.
She is a D&D like 2.0 character in D&D like 5.0.
A little bit, yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
She's like this classic.
Well, my microphone was recording for 3 minutes. That's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh well, everyone else can hear you all talk about Lae'zel and how much you don't like her.
Yeah, she's like, she feels very old school, like D&D in a bad way of like, my character doesn't like these people.
That's what the Gith are.
I'm elf.
Yeah, well, they suck. Hey, they suck. Okay.
Yeah, and D&D's established that doing that kind of thing with all the races is stupid and dumb. Don't make everyone of a race hate don't make it racist.
Don't make it racist.
D&D was kind of racist before. Let's make it a little less racist now.
That being said, there is a really good... I literally just finished a quest earlier that was very easy to finish because the lady was like, "Hey, so we think that Gith are like violent from birth. So can you steal us a Gith egg so that we can hatch it and then like try to teach the baby to not be violent?" And I was like, "And how about you go fuck yourself?" because that's
No
a
way.
sentient being. So she attacked me, and I killed her.
Also,
But
if you don't like Lae'zel, have you considered giving her a silly hat?
I have considered giving her a silly hat, but then that would require me to talk to Lae'zel, and I'm not fucking doing that.
Apparently, she's
Is
a
she
freak
the
if you try
only-
to fuck her, though.
Damn,
is she
okay,
the only
then,
like?
yeah.
Is she the only of one of her kind you meet?
No, you mean other
No.
Gith, but
I think she's
Are
the
they
only one in
cool?
the party. No, they are not cool. They
So
are
is there
absolutely
any
not.
like? Is there any possibility of truth to what the woman was asking
It's-
when she asked you to like?
Oh yeah,
But-
yeah. So so if you do give them the egg, they hatch the Githyanki, and the Githyanki kill them all. Yes, they will absolutely do that.
I will say
Yeah, it's
one thing, and it's not. I don't know. It's not really a spoiler, but Lae'zel, she kind of has like imposter syndrome, or like she doesn't feel like she's good enough, and that's maybe also part of why she acts the way she does.
Yeah,
To back up what you said, based on what I just looked up when I put in romance and this picture came up for her, yeah, I'm gonna go. She's on the wild side.
Yeah. Oh, that's like her. No, that's her. Just like camp clothes. That's just
Yeah,
what
that's
she wears.
just what she
around
wears
the
at
fucking
camp.
house.
Yeah, that's kind of my point.
Her Githyanki armor in combat has no pants.
Oh,
She runs around pantsless.
Yeah.
It's really funny. I barely talked to her, and at one point, she forced me to have a conversation where she talked about how much she wanted to taste me, and I was like, "Nah, hey,
What?
how about
You know,
fucking not?
How
about
about
you don't
Can
do
you
that.
have people leave your party? Can you sit there and
you
say,
can
"Get
you can
out
make
of
them
my
stay
party"?
at camp?
But you can't make anyone like, don't be near us
I mean,
anymore.
probably. I didn't have to grab her. I didn't have to save her. Like
Nope.
at one point, she's in a cage at the beginning of the game, and you like break her
Well,
open. and
yeah,
get
but
her
you
out.
don't. Your character, if you're role playing, your character doesn't know that character is mean yet. I feel like there should be a.
You meet her on the ship
like,
beforehand.
Yeah, you meet her on the
know
Nautiloid.
pretty
hold
well.
on. Nick, are you asking whether you can make decisions that will drive her out of the party?
No, I'm saying, is there a point where you're like, "This is my party, get the fuck out of it now. I don't
Yeah, you
like
consider-
you or want you."
So you can consider to camp, and generally I have
Fallout
barely talked to her.
Fallout New Vegas. I don't
Yeah.
think we should be together anymore, and they go back to wherever the fuck.
Yeah, they
their
go
spawn
back to
point is
the
dead.
they go back to the
Yeah, you can
the-
send it back to camp. That's pretty much how these ones
But
work.
isn't the camp like your everyone's place? I thought the camp sounded like your home base, or
yeah, it's where you go to like long rest and you can have conversations with people.
that's what I
and
mean.
stuff.
Like that's
It's
still
the
like
equivalent of the Lucky 38, where you can send.
yeah.
people
See, no,
in New
I
Vegas.
meant like in New Vegas when you're like, I don't think we should move anymore. Don't go to Lucky 38. Leave, and they're like, well, I guess I'll go back to where I was before.
You can't do that. You can not pick her up, but you can't. She has to go back to the camp. I assume you can piss her off enough that she just leaves your party. But I haven't seen that at all.
The only person I keep at
Um,
camp all the time is Gale, because I don't want any fucking weak ass wizards in my party.
No, oh man, are you kidding me? Gale's great.
Nah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay, I was gonna say Gale's
I
fantastic.
switch out Shadowheart and Gale depending on what the situation is.
I'm running Paladin, so I've been switching out Shadowheart and Karlach, because Karlach's amazing.
I
Um,
haven't met Karlach yet.
Karlach is you got to meet Karlach. Karlach's good. I thought she was gonna be one thing, and she is not what I thought she was.
See,
She
I'm playing a
is-
bard, so I
way
can kind of
cooler.
like do everything.
Yeah, that's fair. That's absolutely fair.
I'm the
Um,
one who disarms all the traps, not Asterion. Fuck you. I get the
Yeah.
trap disarming.
Asterion kind of became my default second character because of the trap stuff. Because paladins aren't very good at disarming traps
Turns out.
or seeing them. But I'll tank one real hard.
I'm bad at
Can-
at finding them just because I have a low passive perception, but
Yeah.
I'm very good at disarming them. Also
That's-
because like I get like jack of all trades, I can fucking guidance myself, which is extra bonus.
Yeah.
And then expertise, and then proficiency. I have a bunch of bonuses that stack on each other.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, yeah.
So it's like,
you're
oh,
hard,
well,
you're
I
gonna have
guess
that.
as long as I don't roll a 2, I'll be fine.
Yeah, that's fair. That's the same thing with my Asterion. Is
So,
if I see it and know it's there, I can get it pretty good.
I know this is like a D&D game, but like, can everyone use spells or only the classes?
I mean, you can get like the magic adept feats.
Yeah,
to hit
they'll
level
let you
4.
have very low level spells, and like certain origins give you spells by default. Like my
Yeah.
Asterion
Yeah,
has a
'cause, like-
firebolt.
Because I've noticed a lot of like spells and stuff that really feel like it seems like non-spell people in this game. If you can't use some spells, you're kind of like fucked.
No.
Like, well, and so much is like there's so much content you're missing. Not like normal content. Like, no, you are missing a shit ton of stuff if you don't get spells.
I say that you want a spellcaster on your team for certain things. Personally, your main character should have speak with animals for your first playthrough.
Yeah, that's one of the ones I've heard.
Man, it's so good. Speak with animals gets you so much good shit, and I don't even mean like, oh, this is nice stuff or whatever, like good equipment, but just like funny nonsense.
Yeah, I saw several screenshots where you can like chat with pigeons and they call you Landwalker, and apparently they have like a military hierarchy.
Yeah, I caused a revolution in the spiders. There was a guy who like was running the spiders, and I went and talked to the spiders, and the spiders were like, "We're being run down," and one of them was like, "Yeah, we should turn to Loth. Like Loth is where it's at." And I'm like, "Does Loth want you to fight us?" And they were like, "Not really." And I was like, "Cool, you should follow Loth." And they all were like, "Okay, sure," and they all just left the building. Like, all right, that was easy.
See,
about those spiders.
I love shit like that.
Yes, this is
Just
like
goofy, dumb shit that you can
I
do.
remember all this kind of shit from the first 2 Baldur's Gates, and everything you're telling me about 3 just has me so excited because I remember this shit.
That sounds like the kind of stuff that I did in like my very first like ever D&D games, just in general. It's like,
what's the deal with the squirrel?
Oh.
What's up? Oh yeah, the squirrel. I never found the squirrel.
I haven't found the squirrel. All I know is that you can kick it really hard.
Yes, I've seen a lot of people where the squirrel attacks you for some reason, and eventually you go fuck it and kick it. And other people don't have talk to animals, so they don't know what the fuck's going on. They think you just kicked the squirrel for no reason.
I should go find that squirrel. It's somewhere on there.
I saw a clip where someone hit the squirrel and kicked it so hard it died.
Yeah, that's fun. There's some really good stuff later. Where, like
early, I was traveling through one of the villages that the goblins had ransacked, and I went to enter a shed, and boy was I surprised to find a bugbear trying to fuck an ogre.
No, yeah, that's it's great. That's one of my favorite scenes.
Like one of the options is just like back away slowly.
Because you like hear a bunch of like noises, but you don't see anything.
Yeah.
And like there's no like maybe I shouldn't go in there, or no one stops you, and you just open the door and they're just fucking plugging away at each other. It's like, all right, well, here we go. Time to have a fight. I remember that fight. That's a good fight.
It's so funny. It fucking traumatizes everybody too.
Yeah, or
I can understand why.
The goblins that have lashed a deep gnome to a windmill.
Oh,
they're just spinning around and around and around and around. Yeah, it's great. It's
and just intermittently, you just hear, "Help! Get me down from here!"
Get me down!
It's like, will you just give me a moment? Well, I'm gonna go explore the village. You just have a fun time going around and around and around.
Yeah. That you meet that gnome later. He gives you a really nice pair of. Well, he doesn't give them to you. You have to buy them, but it's a really nice pair of gloves. But there's some really really good moments in that game so far. I'm having a blast.
Yeah, I've been having a great time with it. I'm not super far, but I've been having a great
The
time.
rats are assholes. I don't know if you've met a rat yet. There are some assholes.
I don't think my character has speak with animals.
You should absolutely get
Probably
a ring of
should.
it, or because it's an all-day thing. You just cast at the beginning of the day. I have it because I'm an Oath of Ancients druid. So I just cast it at the beginning of the day, and I just have it on the entire day. And if I see an animal, I'll talk to him.
Have you met Ani Ethel?
Ani Ethel? Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, sure have.
That was a fun, just here's a random horror moment.
Yep. Did you go through that whole situation?
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't fight her.
Oh, okay. So there's a whole situation there.
Oh, but I've been in her secret hideout.
Okay.
I've been down there, and I'm just like, okay, this is weird, but I didn't fight her, so I was like, I'm just gonna leave. Then I got attacked by a bunch of red caps.
The end of that whole situation is the first time I lost my paladin oath and had to restart it.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, because I was like, maybe I should just let them go, and then it's like, no, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, apparently it's from what I've heard, it's kind of easy to break your paladin oath.
It can be. I did it when I was killing the leaders of the goblin camp. The bugbear fight is really hard. It's like Dror Zalim or whatever, and I got him. I finally killed him, and somehow during killing him broke my oath. I'm not sure how, so I had to start the whole thing over.
So when I went through the goblin camp,
it's a D&D game, so it's the sweatiest DM.
The DM can be kind of sweaty here.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. I don't know it. When I went through the goblin camp and I was trying to save Halsin, at that point he's wild shaped into a bear, and the goblin kids are throwing rocks at him.
Right, yeah.
Because they're listen to the funny noise he makes when you hit him with a rock.
Yeah.
Just being typical little goblin assholes.
Just being little shits.
And and I told the goblins, I was like, hey, why don't you go pick on something else? And they're like, okay. And they fucked off. And then he breaks out of the prison and starts attacking me. I was like, whoa, hey, man, I was the non-aggressor in this situation.
Yeah.
So I non-lethally knocked him out, and then I stole his underwear.
You can have okay.
I stole his underwear.
You can have a conversation with him, and he basically explains, yeah, sometimes when I get into bear form, I get a little bit
That's what I was reading, because I looked up. Because I looked up, I was like, do I have to fight him? I don't want to fight him. Do I have to?
Yeah.
So hold on. So he's basically Bjorn?
A little bit, yeah. He's more like a baby Bjorn. Hey, let's go. So what I found out after the fact is, have you fought the matron yet? The drow matron?
No, I have not.
So there's a drow matron in there who can, if you're evil, can be on your party.
I've definitely spoken with her.
Oh.
Just if you find anyone that has underwear or camp clothes on their in their inventory, if you kill them, that means that they are party members. Turns out.
Oh.
So keep that in mind.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I would try to bang a drow matron. Probably want to survive, but
yeah.
Are you sure about that one?
I don't know what I actually don't know what I'm gonna do for my second playthrough. I'm definitely gonna play a bard, but I don't know if I want to play good or evil. I
think my second character is gonna be a sorcerer.
Look, all I'm gonna say, Matt, is there's a trilogy of books that explains why doing that is a bad idea.
I know. Yeah. I've read at least one of those books.
Apparently, if you play a warlock, your patron gets involved at one point.
Ooh. I was playing Warlock during early access, but I never got far enough to really sink my teeth into it.
There's also a.
Speaking of warlocks, what patrons do they have?
It's Fae. It's Fae, Fiend, and Old One are the three currently in the game.
Yeah, it's
Um,
each class. I think they only have like 3 or 4 like archetypes.
It is ridiculous how much D&D shit they added to this game. Like, the amount of stuff that you can do that you wouldn't think you could do is wild.
I know I've seen that they said they're not going any content past level 12 because it just becomes way too hard to balance spells.
Yeah, they've talked about wanting to do, like, DLC content, but, like, they have plans for DLC content, but they don't know if they want to go any higher than 12th level just because of how the game... excuse me, how the game balances itself after 12th level, so...
Yeah, because, like, there's a lot of... like at that point, you're getting access to polymorph.
Yeah.
And
I have polymorph now. Yeah, like, you can wild shape.
But, like, once you start getting into those teen levels, that's when those spells start getting really busted, and I can understand where tabletop, you can kind of smudge and bullshit things to make it work narratively. It's a lot harder to do that in a computer or video game.
Yeah.
True, yes.
Okay, so I'm looking at the Baldur's Gate 3 wiki right now. It seems like the classes that have the most like subclasses are cleric and wizard, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Followed by paladin, which has 4 subclasses, and then everything else has 3.
Yes. Wait, paladin's 4?
Yeah.
It's devotion.
You got Oath of the Ancients,
Vengeance?
Devotion, Oath Breaker, and Vengeance.
Oh, Breaker counts as one. Okay, yeah. Okay, because you can't pick it at the beginning.
Okay.
You have to just be an Oath Breaker if you break it during the game.
I love the little...
okay, so they have the Wild Magic Barbarian. Okay, that could be fun.
Whoever wrote this description for the Way of the Four Elements monk is cheeky, because it says, these monks, quote, bend the 4 elements at will, becoming, quote, avatars of balance.
God damn it. There's some good ones in there. I got a pair of boots that have a Critical Role reference that it allows you to dash as a bonus action, and also gives you freedom of movement, and it's called Click Heels.
Love
which
that.
is just Vax's boots. And then I'm pretty sure, because in the Goblin camp, you meet 2... one guy's dead, one guy's being tortured, who like know the secret of like where the like night song is. One is named Liam and one is named Brian. I'm pretty sure that's a Liam.
Oh yeah, I was streaming that bit on Discord. I was like, hey, wait, this character's name is Liam, and my friend's like, like Liam O'Brien, Liam. I was like,
yeah, because
maybe
he's got it. His friend is named Brian, so that's what I think it is.
Did you?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of surprised that Circle of Spores is one of the subclasses.
Yeah, I think they wanted to give druids something very different because, like, the druid subclasses aren't very good. If you're not going moon druid, it's kind of fucked up. But so they wanted to give them something like much different than the other stuff. And like basically being a necromancy druid is very interesting. Which I actually, speaking of druids, I actually finished. I watched the D&D movie, and haven't seen it. Got a couple of ideas for what I want to do for
you
a character.
I don't know what to tell you, man. It's like,
you mean Honor Among Thieves?
Yeah, it's very good.
I still haven't.
Yeah, no, it's good.
I know it's out on streaming now, so I don't have to like physically fucking go anywhere.
Yeah, no, it is worth watching.
Did they not? Give them the link to the site.
No, we can't talk about that here. We'll talk about that off the podcast. We're not allowed to talk about that.
That's what I meant. That's why I just said give them the link to the site.
We'll give it. I'll send it to you later. Don't worry about it.
Look, all I'm gonna say about Honor Among Thieves is every time they have something go wrong, I can pinpoint in my brain a campaign somewhere in my life where something similar has happened.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite things is like they're sneaking around a bunch of guards, and he says something to one of the guards, and the guard's like, "Okay, cool. Hey, wait a minute!" and turns around, and I'm like, "You just failed a deception check." Like you can see
Or
where
the performance
happen.
check with
Yeah.
when they're doing
with
the
the
protection.
yeah, because there's a scene where there's a scene
Yeah,
where they're doing
distract the guard.
they're distracting guards with like an illusion of Chris Pine playing the lute, and he starts glitching out like
Yeah, no, like at one point his face elongates. It's
there's a
fucking
face that's
hilarious.
melting, and he starts repeating the last syllable. It's great. Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, no, it's
You
like
should watch it. It's
the whole
pretty good.
time I'm sitting there, it's like,
Well,
yeah, I've had that happen.
I mean, I have literally nothing going on until tomorrow, where I'm going to be at Toledo Pride. So
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely
I
watch it.
definitely
It's
sit
very
down
good.
and watch it.
Did you get willingly flogged by the priest of Loviatar?
No, fuck that. Absolutely not.
You didn't do
I'm
that?
a fucking oath with the Ancients Paladin. I'm not getting flogged by another cleric, like a cleric. Are you kidding me? Fuck that.
I got flogged.
I hear it
apparently
gives you,
I-
like a bonus.
And
Yeah.
apparently I did it wrong.
That being
because
said,
at the end of it, he was like, "Oh, you didn't scream loud enough."
Why would you want to get flogged? That's a bad thing.
apparently it gives you a bonus.
I
I
mean,
And also, he's dressed like a
did-
fucking Cenobite.
Yeah, he's a little fucked up. I did give
hold up. I know this is going to date the podcast, but at least 3 of us here care about this. All In has officially beat Mania 32.
Nice. That's awesome.
80,846 tickets distributed.
This
Hell
yeah.
breaking
I don't-
wrestling news.
What's that? Who? What?
AEW is doing a show called All In at Wembley Stadium.
If everybody shows up, it will officially be the largest wrestling audience, paid wrestling audience
It's pretty good.
in history. We don't count Collision in Korea because it was forced attendance.
Now, I
Oh, right,
gave
yeah,
my
yeah.
thoughts on like attending Wrestling Claire, but that is with WWE. How does AEW do its thing?
What do you mean?
Well, I've said before how I think it's really stupid that WWE has like a show every fucking week that's like live. That's stupid and dumb, but I don't watch AEW. So how does AEW do this thing? Do they do like
They're
it's,
live every
it's-
week.
Well,
They're
it's
live every
weekly.
week
It's
as well?
Live weekly, but it's like they only do like 4 pay-per-views a year, 5 pay-per-views a year, something like that.
Unless there's a
Okay,
special
so
one
it's
like
not
All
like-
In.
I was gonna say okay,
Yeah.
so they don't do a pay-per-view every fucking like Tuesday
Yeah,
like
they-
AEW.
Yeah, they
No,
don't do
no,
a pay-per-view every 3
No.
weeks.
There's
Right.
one. There's one Labor Day weekend, one Memorial Day weekend, one in November, and then
One in February.
one in February.
Or sometimes
year-
early March.
Yeah, this year we have. We also now have Forbidden Door, but I think that one's going to float around to whenever they can actually
Yeah, I
book
think
it
that's-
based on the talent.
I think that's why I said 5, because I think it's 4 pay-per-views and Forbidden Door was added. So
Yeah, but that's technically a joint show. And then we
Right.
have All In this year, which was then basically going, hey, you remember how this whole company started on a bet of the Indies can't fill a 10,000 seat arena? Well,
AEW
we're
is not
going for
fucking-
90.
What are you talking about? AEW is not a fucking indie company anymore.
No,
it's like the
it's
second
really
biggest-
not.
No, but
It's the second biggest wrestling
No,
company.
what
No,
he means
dude.
is AEW
When All
started
In-
because of All In, and that was
Yeah,
and that
All
was
In
only
predates
because
AEW.
yeah.
All In created AEW, and All In was predicated on a bet that Dave Meltzer was like, no, Indy can't fill a 10,000 seat stadium.
Basically, literally,
Okay, well,
the guy's
wait.
handle is WWE guy. He
I was
tweeted
gonna
out.
say,
He tweeted out, tagging Meltzer. Do you think the Indies could fill a 10,000 seat arena?
when did he
Meltzer
say
said,
Yeah.
"I don't think anybody could right now," or something to that effect. To which Cody Rhodes then quote tweeted and replied, I'll take that bet, Dave. They booked All In using Ring of Honor stuff because AEW wasn't around yet.
Nope.
They sold out the 10,000 seat arena in the first
It's like the first
10 minutes, I
yeah.
think.
I think Meltzer said something like it was the best bet he ever lost.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, when did he make this bet? Like,
It was
And then-
it was in 2018.
Yeah.
okay, yeah, that's okay.
No, that I believe that was in 2017
Oh, All In was in 2018. The original. Yeah.
because
took a little
AEW
time.
started 2019
Yeah.
because they announced
Wait,
Double or
he made
Nothing.
this. He made that in 2018. Wait, okay, that's. So he sat there and said, "Do you think an indie could fill 10,000 seats when fucking COVID was happening?" Is what
No.
you're telling me?
No,
Yeah,
COVID is 2020,
No,
dude.
no. Yeah. 20,
Well, no,
20
was it
end of
2020?
end of 2019, 2020 was COVID, my friend.
God, I could have sworn it was
Yeah,
2018,
July.
2019.
Time
We
No,
went home
you're
around,
going
time
we went
is a
home around
weird
like
soup.
July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, that happened. They pulled that off. Tony Khan was there. That's how he got a hold of all of them. That's how AEW became a thing.
Yeah.
Fast forward to either it was the end of last year or early this year. WWE guy again tweets out asking Meltzer if he thinks if WWE could do Wembley, because nobody's tried since SummerSlam in '92. And then, what was it? 2 weeks later, Tony Khan announces that they booked Wembley.
Interesting.
So it's like, if there's ever a non-wrestler wing for an AEW Hall of Fame, this
Oh, it's
dude
that-
has to go in.
That guy? Yeah.
Yeah,
Celebrity
there's no
wing.
argument. His whole thing of, hey, you want to bet? Started this whole shit.
Oh, hey, completely apropos to nothing. Go see Blue Beetle. Apparently, it's really good. That is all.
Of course
Please
it's good. Of course it's good. It was abandoned by DC. It was like a sure sign of quality.
Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair.
Oh, last thing I saw about Blue Beetle is that people were walking out on it.
Really? No, everything I've seen is that it's very good and apparently very Spanish.
Huh.
Yeah. Which is
ahora para mí.
exactly why people are working out on it. Like,
Oh yeah,
I don't care
it's
what
probably
you
too
say.
it's probably too woke.
But
I forgot.
it doesn't sound a white person. It's woke.
But,
I've seen
yeah,
many white people saying that, and I'm like, fucking okay, cool.
we were talking about silly things I've done in Baldur's Gate. I did get all of the Shar benefits from the statues, and you'll get there later. But it gives you, until a long rest, it gives you +5 to intelligence, wisdom, and charisma if you get all three. I like to think that my character is a tiefling paladin, so she's very pious and righteous, but also kind of a rascal. So she does weird shit sometimes.
But also kind of a rascal.
Yeah, she gets
that.
her tiefling blood comes out and she stabs someone just for fun, just see what happened. There is an origin that's called Dark Urge that apparently makes the game instead of your character just being a generic main character, actually has a personality. And it's not a great personality, but there's a story arc for you where you slowly realize that you have this personality and you try to get rid of it.
So Genshin added underwater shit. You could just swim, you couldn't go underwater, and they added this entire underwater section. And underwater combat is really simplistic, but it's underwater exploration where it's it's one of those things where Genshin's really good. They're one of those games where like 14 or even Baldur's Gate where it's like they're putting the money into the game. It looks fucking gorgeous. Every new update makes the game more fun by either streamlining something or quality of life fucking changes. The first time I went underwater, the game eases you into the underwater thing by having a quest that's hey, go look for underwater shit, and it's just fucking gorgeous. like the game looks gorgeous too. I got to Fontaine, and it's like every other place has been really cool. Mondstadt is very, very European, very like that style of European housing amid like hills and valleys, but like also a lot of plains and stuff. Leeway is China, and so it's like if you've ever seen like pictures of like China and nature, that's how you got a lot of mountains, a lot of crags, a lot of like those types. Inazuma's Japan island and shit. Sumeru was like half desert, half dense, lush jungle, so it was a nice little dichotomy. And like Fontaine is like, it's almost like Fontaine is like Sicily because they say like the water level's rising. And so it's like this big, huge city that they've kind of keep building on top of each other because the water level keeps rising. And so because of that, you have the most of the area you explore outside of the city are big,
Did you mean
huge,
Venice?
Like, Venice, yeah, Venice.
So it's not
big,
Sicily.
huge, like basically the tops of mountains that are peeking up underneath the water. Which makes it like it just looks gorgeous to look at because it's like constant, like
damn. If only it weren't Genshin Impact.
It's incredibly fun. Like I said, it's like any it's a fun MMO. It's got a good story. The only main problem I have with Genshin Impact is there are two different writing teams, and there's the people who are the good writing teams, and they get to do like half of the main story and all of the event quest writing, and those are really good. And then there's the other writing team who does everything else, and you cannot mash through like non-voiced cutscenes fucking fast enough in this game. Like literally you can't do it because like I'm mashing it and it's like get through it. And the minute I hear actual talking, I'm like, okay, this is where the good shit is, And I'm hoping with Fontaine, maybe they figured out that like let's get the people who are writing all the events and the fucking story to write like at least most of the story, not like 50% of the story, because it's like. I get to Sumeru. Sumeru has like this amazing fucking like it's a story in Genshin. Half the story at parts is fucking great. It's like Final Fantasy 14 like levels of like this good ass fucking story. And then there's the other half that's just like fuck man, this is just busy work because you know exactly what's going to happen, so it's like I hope they fix that in Fontaine. So I'm trying to fill up the non-Baldur's Gate 3 because there's half of us who haven't played it and half of us who have.
That's kind of why I tried to bring up the wrestling.
Well, yeah. I was gonna introduce a little segment that Jason and I have been talking about.
Okay.
Maybe I want to do a whole episode where we just do this, but since we have been talking about Baldur's Gate 3, wrestling, and Genshin, I figured it would be cool to throw this on as a little extra. I'm just going to jump in here and give everybody a little warning that the story we're about to read from Reddit is pretty gross as it pertains to sex toys and sexual intercourse. So if that's not your thing, you can go ahead and turn off the podcast and put on a different episode. And I promise that future Reddit stories that we read will not be as gross as this one. So, this is partially inspired by listening/watching to the people over at Smosh read Reddit stories.
Congratulations for Smosh coming back and owning their property again.
Yeah, super cool.
Anyway, continue.
So they usually source stories from the subreddit, Am I the Asshole or Am I the Devil? Mm-hmm. And other different
or
subreddits.
Today I fucked up.
Today I fucked up, or relationship advice, etc. So I went through, I went on Today I Fucked Up, and I saved a story that I wanted to read with you guys because it's fucking wild. The title of this post is Today I Fucked Up by Laying an Egg During Sex.
What?
Oh no!
I don't want to know what it is. Can we skip it? Can we
I
veto?
I
Can we
don't.
veto bits?
I don't have any other posts saved.
I kind
Well,
of.
here we go.
Okay,
Is it bad that I think I know where this is gonna go?
so obligatory. This didn't happen today. I actually posted this 4 years ago, but decided since the community is much larger now, more people might enjoy this story. Backstory. My boyfriend and I have been experimenting with new sex toys lately. We bought some Tenga eggs because he has an issue
There it
with
is.
sensation. Some kind of mental block due to past traumas. I thought maybe they would help by increasing sensation and distracting his wandering mind. We had tried the egg a few different ways, and I had looked up some porn vids to get ideas of different things. I saw one particular video showing a couple having PIV, that's penis and vagina, for anyone who wasn't aware, with the Tenga egg on the penis. I thought it might be a bit difficult to get it due to my small size. In parentheses, they said it's a medical condition, but figured we'd give it a go. After a bit of fumbling and slipping, and with tons of lube, we finally get it in. It's staying at the base and doing just fine. He says it's a bit too tight, but we keep going in hopes that my muscles will let up a bit as they usually do. He's getting a good rhythm going, and we hear a kind of popping / slurp sound. I think, oh great, we just ripped it. So we stopped to inspect it. I looked at his dick, and the Tenga egg wasn't there. I started feeling up around in the sheets to see where this thing slipped to. Can't find it. Suddenly, we both looked at each other. The same thought crossed both our minds. Is it ... Oh God. I stick a finger inside myself to see if I can feel it. Nothing. It must be way up there. I get up onto my knees. He's intently staring at me at this point, freaking out. I'm totally calm because as a female who has used menstrual cups, I know anything that goes in can come out with enough effort. I start to bear down and feel some pressure. Yep, there it is. I stick my finger in again and bear down. I feel the smooth side, but I can't locate the hole. It had flipped onto its side.
Okay,
I continue to bear down.
Listen. You are lost in the fucking sauce here. Can you get to the point, Matt? Like,
It's
like
almost done.
like this.
I'm
this
reading the
person is
story.
feeling- I know, but you can skip ahead to like the not like we can get. Can we get to the the meat?
When it came out, it made a loud slurp sound and flopped out onto the bed. All while he was looking on in horror, I immediately started laughing my ass off. It took us about 10 minutes to collect ourselves. I tossed the egg into the sink so that we can wash it later. We then finished it off where we started, sans Tenga egg.
No. That egg is done.
Also, what do you mean you fucking... I'll let you finish. I have a lot of things to say to this.
Later,
I'm assuming since you said penis and vagina, I'm going to say woman.
Yeah. Well, they said they said earlier as a female, so
female, yeah. So I have a lot of things to say to this woman.
Later, when we were getting into the shower, he grabbed the egg and handed it to me. He said, "Don't leave your child unattended." We now refer to it as our child.
Jesus Christ.
And that's fucked, but whatever.
There are there are updates.
Oh no!
To this story.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Update. I didn't even think to include an update when I posted this initially. We broke up a few months after this situation. Turns out it had nothing to do with sensation. He just thought about his mom constantly while we had sex, so it made it hard for him to finish.
What?
He didn't have any trouble maintaining an erection, though, in case you're wondering. Upside down smiley face.
You said updates, so there's multiple?
I'm not.
Well,
I'm not
the next edit is
trusting this woman in general.
The next edit is answering frequently asked questions.
Gotcha.
I don't trust this fucking lady. She's been given a lot of information that I feel you shouldn't in general. Like, she's already sharing a lot of shit that I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Please don't share this with people. This is like private sex stuff. And then like, it
well, that's because
feels
you're
like,
a prude.
No.
People, to be fair, people share a lot worse on Reddit.
Yeah, no, dude, this is tame.
Yeah, but also, I love how she's sharing all this stuff and hasn't asked her partner, "Hey, is it cool if I tell everyone about this sex role?"
Hey, remember, this is probably like a throwaway account. Like,
yeah, dude, you have to realize 9 times out of 10 these are throwaways, and 99.99999 ad infinitum % of the time, it's names changed.
Yeah, names changed or just completely anonymous.
Yeah,
call me crazy when the dude in the relationship, when something's described as he wouldn't do this, some past trauma, my thought process from my partner would be, well, then I'm not going to fucking push that. And her thought process was, no, I want to do this, fuck him. Literally, but also, like,
it sounds like she was trying to help him through it.
Yes, that's what I mean. But it also sounds like maybe she wasn't. There's a lot of information she hasn't shared, which is weird because there's a lot of information she has shared.
It also sounds like you're maybe reading a little bit into it from a place of bias as well.
So yeah, one of the updates actually addresses that. It says,
she does?
Yeah. So I'm gonna read the answers to frequently asked questions. I posted this info in the comments, but I know not a lot of you will see it. We are not friends. I haven't spoken with him since we broke up. He stalked me for around 6 months after and kept telling people we were still together, even though we were not. He would drive 45 minutes just to sit outside of my apartment every single night.
So this guy was a creep.
So next up, this is actually not the reason we broke up. The whole mom thing seemed like a trauma-related issue, so I figured we could work through it. We broke up because I found out he was a closet bigot, and he secretly racked up over $100,000 of debt in 1 year after we moved in together.
Ooh. I'll do it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
I have no clue if his mom or anyone else did anything to him. When I asked, he said no, but I didn't press the situation because it's none of my business. I'm a CSA survivor myself. I encouraged him to seek therapy, but he refused as he, quote, doesn't believe in therapy. I did what I could. Shrug emoji.
Oh, great. I love it when people do that.
The final one is, I got custody of the egg, but I abandoned it in a dumpster. Didn't know about safe haven laws back then.
God. Listen, that didn't go where I thought it was going to go.
Yeah, the update is way more interesting.
Yeah, like that's insane. There's a lot of things that should have been in the original post, and she saved for the update. And I'm like, don't do that.
So yeah, that's today I fucked up.
Yeah, that was a trip.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through, save more. Today I fucked up. Am I the asshole? And maybe some relationship advice posts. Maybe we can make this a recurring segment.
Yeah, I think it could be fun. Try and find some of the craziest.
And it's like an endless font of just like, what the fuck is the human race even?
Yeah.
Because like I'm just reading through titles and I'm like, whoa.
Also, it's Reddit. Like,
oh yeah, there's a non-zero chance that like any of these could be just totally
not even
false.
Non-zero. It's Reddit. It's like a 75% chance that it's all fucking bullshit.
That's true, but it's still, I mean, like, it's still fun to read. I mean, D&D's fake bullshit, and people still love listening to it and playing it. So,
yeah, that's a fair point. Who are we to break the illusion?
I guess it just depends on your personality. I enjoy the segment. I say that so that you don't get mad when you don't misunderstand when I say I enjoy the segment. I just hate it when it's like, oh, they're lying on the internet. I'm like, yeah, don't fucking lie. It's stupid. Or like, you know, like if it's a fake story, say it's a fake story. Like, I don't like it when people I don't like it when people lie. Yeah, it's like, or like, you know, because it's like, oh, you're trying to get fucking these two. I'm sorry, I'm playing Apex, and the first guy went down, and I'm playing what's the shield man name? Fuck. Guy with
Gibraltar?
the Captain America shield? No, with the Captain America shield that he has.
I don't
know.
In what?
Apex.
Newcastle.
His whole thing is that when he revives people, he's able to move around and he makes a shield in front of them and he's able to move them around. So I'm in the middle of doing that for someone and then they just leave, despite the fact that they are literally getting back up. I'm like, cool. The other guy goes down, and I literally get to him and start the animation. And he waited until I got to him and started the animation.
To left the game,
like a full 30 seconds to leave the game too. And I'm like, cool, fucking great.
That's why you don't play Newcastle with randos.
I need the revives.
But yeah,
Battle Pass. As
far as future Reddit stories go, I'll try to pick ones that are less explicit.
Yeah,
that one is.
Yeah.
I wanted to read that one because it was funny. The title was funny.
Title is funny. Around the third use of like I forgot the exact adjective, but it like goosh, you know?
Oh yeah, slurp.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's what
there's nothing you should be writing as a person where you use the word slurp.
Unless you're writing a
Like, you're not
cosmic
me.
horror story.
Yeah.
Or about a dog.
No, what? Your dog slurping? That sounds.
Man, I'm
That's
just
Yeah, you know,
no,
you have
no,
dogs. You have
no,
dogs go
no.
slurp.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got. Yeah, but you hear slurp and you think. Didn't we have this conversation about another word? Yeah,
Moist.
it was a nymph. Where I'm like, you use that word, and I'm like, I know it doesn't have the same connotations, but people have made it be bad.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay, yeah. I see what you're saying now.
Yeah, where it's like, I know slurp isn't bad. Slurp isn't bad. Slurp. Oh man! Now if this had said slurp, if slurp had been in the fucking it, I would have been all in. Then you're like,
Lorp?
oh, that's yeah. Because then you're like, oh,
Slurp.
what the fuck happened?
Schlorp is a far better word than slurp.
Yeah, I like slurp. That's very funny.
With slurp, it's like, oh shit went wrong. Some went sideways.
There's also Glark, which is always fun to hear.
What?
Glark? You never heard Glark?
No.
That's a whole other thing.
I've heard someone call getting head the Gluck Gluck 3000.
Why are we talking about Nancy Reagan?
only the real ones. Only the real ones know the power of Glark.
Oh god, what's I can't remember what the Mabim Bam was now. What did he call? What was it? The boss who's like kept calling being happy like busting up or something like that.
I don't know about that.
I can't remember that bit. This title is just, am I the asshole for calling my partner's best friend a wank stain?
That's a great insult.
That is so like tame.
Oh, hey, this one's real short. I'm going to read it.
Wankstain and shitbird.
All right, so my partner has a lifelong best friend who does not like me because he's been projecting fears of his past relationship onto me and my partner. The sudden disdain for me has resulted in him shit-talking me to my friends, non-friends, and generally making mine and my partner's life difficult. My partner has tried to tell him to grow the fuck up because no nearly 30-year-old man should be acting this way. Anyways, it hasn't worked. I've done my best to avoid him, but alas, we mingle with the same people, so sometimes we are forced into the situation together. Yesterday, he had a line too many and got mouthy and started laying into me. Part of his issue is he hears people talk and only gets half-truths about me. He was trying to catch me out on, quote, lies that I was able to easily prove he was pulling out of nowhere. Eventually, I got annoyed and said, John, will you stop being a wank stain for 5 fucking minutes and let me enjoy my drink? Turns out he doesn't like being insulted. He stormed out and the atmosphere for everyone was ruined. Some friends who were there think I'm in the wrong. My partner thinks it was funny, but now John is refusing to come to a major event tomorrow unless I'm not going. And if you think I should just forfeit this one and apologize to keep the peace. Am I the asshole?
What's the relationship to the? What's the? I missed the very beginning. What's the relationship to the?
It's his partner's lifelong best friend.
Lifelong best friend. It really sounds like he's one of. I'm going to be honest. From the very limited information this person has given, it sounds like it's one of those people who has been friends for a long time, but he's a fucking jackass, and they don't realize. The other people don't realize they're only friends with him because they've been friends with him for so long, and maybe they shouldn't be friends.
Yeah, a lot of the comments are saying not the asshole.
I'm going to posit an alternative theory. It's the best friend that's been around the whole time and now feels like their territory is being encroached upon.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody in the comments so far I'm reading is saying not the asshole. So he hammered some nails and then walked straight to you and started talking shit. Wankstain is pretty mild. I've seen folks cold cocked for less. Yeah. Not the asshole, please don't apologize because that'll just tell him that he can continue to act like that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, people are saying like he can dish it but he can't take it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, he's definitely not the asshole here.
There's never a good reason. There's never a good reason to act like a dick. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. there's never a good reason to act like a dick to someone you don't know, right?
Right.
So like,
Don't be a
Fuck
dick
'em.
until they give you a reason to be a dick.
yeah.
Oh, there's a flare on Am I the Asshole just called Everyone Sucks. I'll try to
It's
find some of those stories
true.
and save them for next time. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and let's call that an episode, yeah?
Updated Karlak. Karlak. The only update to Karlak is that she has a penis. Thank you. Thanks for coming, everyone. Have a nice night. Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of Moral Ambiguity. If you want to get in touch with us, you can find all of our social media links at beacons.ai/moralambiguity. If you like the show, feel free to give it a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts and any other platform that allows you to do so. If you have a friend that likes Dungeons & Dragons or other TTRPGs, consider sending them the Beacons link. We would greatly appreciate it. See you next time.